Hey everyone, this is Meyer. Welcome back to my uplifting sound design videos here with Vital. In this video, what I'm going to do is create a big super saw pad. So this is what the pad's going to sound like. And with the rest of all the instruments. Alright, so to go ahead and get started, I'm going to create a new Vital track, and I also need to go ahead and get a pad MIDI in here. So what I've done, I've already created the MIDI that I want to use. It's pretty simple. There's nothing really all that complicated going on here. So I'm going to just drag this in. You can see this is just some simple chords here that are going to go across the lead. Let's hear what this sounds like. Alright, so to go ahead and get started, I am going to start with oscillator 1. We're going to bump this up to 8 voices, and I am going to actually increase the unison detune. So I'm just going to solo this, solo the pad track. And for oscillator 2, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to bump this up an octave. So we're going to bring this to 8 voices. I'm going to start with the same detune, but I'm probably going to change this. So bump this up an octave and bring this in. Sounding pretty good. Now I want to take envelope 1 and add a little bit of attack and add some release as well, like this. Let's hear what this sounds like. And next I'm going to add a filter. We may not be doing too much with this filter right now, but it is nice to be able to automate this later on. And one of the things I'm looking at is I have 8 voices, and because a lot of these chords are playing 4 voices at a time, I actually like having 8 voices, because that means the notes aren't going to be, if I had like this at 12 voices, for instance, you could have a lot of overlap, although the release isn't too long. One of the mistakes I think I see a lot of producers make is they make their attack and release too long. For these pads, you want them to be short. You want them to be sitting right there on top of the lead. So this is one way to do this, doing it like so. So very cool. Now we're going to move on to the effects section, and this is going to be really simple. I'm going to add a phaser, which is going to just help add some movement. You don't need this, but it is kind of nice to have. So let's hear what this sounds like. And last, let's go ahead and add an EQ. What I want to do with this is take out some of the low mids and maybe boost the highs just a hair. Now, I'm not going to be adding white noise to this. You could, but I just don't think it's going to need it. And I am boosting this sort of mid-frequency area because that is the main area where there's going to be a hole, where your leads are going to sit on top, your mid-basses and stuff are going to sit in the bottom. So these pads can really help fill in this mid-frequency area. Sounding good. Let's go ahead and mix this in. So what I want to do with this is I want to start it out when the lead comes in, but I want to bring in the filter cutoff. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to lower this to the minimum value. And we're going to map the mod wheel. So when we open up the mod wheel, pretty good. So now we have the mod wheel here, and I'm just going to show the automation and go ahead and slowly bring it in and add some tension to it so it ramps up. So let's hear what this sounds like. So it really does help kind of the background of the sound. What I am going to do is take the sidechain compressor I'm using there for the mid bass and put it here on the pads so we can just hear when the kick comes in. Just wanted to boost the highs a hair. As you can see, this is a very straightforward sound, but it really does add a lot when it's there in the mix. Sometimes I'll use pads like this, I often do, but sometimes I don't. So it really depends, but I think for this, it ends up working. So I hope you found this helpful. In the next video, we'll probably start working on some effects. See you then.